I know, it might seem impossible, but you can save money on a lower income. Ask me how I know. This year, I went part-time on my job to be home with my 1-year-old son, and that has drastically cut our income. While my husband continues to work to maintain our lifestyle, I still want to be able to vigorously contribute to our household. And we are still able to save because of the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. So, in this video, I'm going to give you 10 practical ways that will have a big impact on your finances, and the Chinese secret that helps them save money so well. It will blow your mind. Alright, so let's go. So before we get into the key ways to save money, I really wanted to tell you guys what I just learned. Wi-Fi is no longer a luxury. It is now a utility, right up there with gas and water. But did you know that you could get it for free? Do you have a library card? If so, you can check out Wi-Fi hotspots for free from your local library. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought you didn't want to miss out on that gem, so stick around until the end so you don't miss any more. My first tip to save money on a low income is to create a budget. And the only way that you're going to be able to save money is if you know what's coming in and what's going out. Now, if you're single, this should be very straightforward. But if you're married or have a family like I do, then you need to discuss this with your partner because this will include their income and their expenses too. I know it can be challenging to work with someone on budgeting because they might not be in the same mental space as you, but the greatest way that I can simplify that is that somebody has got to be the financial leader. So let that somebody be you. So in your budget, list everything that comes out of your pocket to get a realistic picture of your finances. Now, if you don't have a budget or haven't created one yet, then I'm going to link this free annual budget spreadsheet that I use almost every single day that tells you in a simple and clean view what you've earned and what you've spent for the entire year. Now, this is the same spreadsheet that I used to get me out of debt. And that was pretty quick because it was like pure motivation, seeing what I've earned and seeing what I've spent in an entire year. Like, what are you actually left with? But before I had this spreadsheet, I couldn't figure out why I was still broke. Just make sure to track your income and your expenses to understand where your money is actually going. But I really wanted to tell you guys about the Chinese secret to saving money that helps them save money so well. And this YouTuber explains it the best way that I've ever heard. So it's essentially the zero-based budgeting system that accounts for every single dollar that you earn. So you spend every cent of your money so that the amount left at the end of the month is equal to zero. So essentially it's just your income minus your expenses. Expenses in this case also mean expensing for your savings, your investments, paying off debt, emergency fund, things like that. Unnecessary expenses might include restaurants or fast food or other impulse buys. You might find out that you're paying for a subscription that you've forgotten about. And the way things are now, I can totally see how someone can easily forget about subscriptions. You can also try negotiating your bill with service providers to help lower the bill. For instance, if you really need cable, call them and act like the bill is just way too expensive and you can't afford to live if you have to continue paying this bill and you need some sort of discount. Most companies have retention teams ready to negotiate with you. And the worst they can say is no. Most of the time they will work with you to get your bill lower, even if it is just for a few months. You can also try unplugging unused appliances. I know we did this for a few months and we did notice a decrease on our electric bill. Cutting unnecessary expenses is also a really good way to get rid of bad habits like smoking, drinking, or gambling. My next tip to save money on a low income is to spend less on food. Food is so expensive whether you're grocery shopping or going out to eat. I've even tried doing a no spend challenge where you do all your shopping once at the beginning of the month and do not go back for another 30 days. And even with that, I found the most effective way to save money on food is to meal plan. So cooking at home can be healthier and also more cost effective. By planning your meals, you're buying your groceries with purpose so you can eliminate impulse purchases. A really good tip that my husband does for impulse purchases is that he'll put things in a cart and he'll go back and think about it later. Like, do I really need this? So that's a really good tip I thought I should share. So if your grocery store has an app like mine, you can also cut coupons, take advantage of sales. You can set up your account for free and get other perks and other ways to save money on groceries. You can also consider buying a generic brand. It's usually cheaper than the name brands. And we try to drink a lot of water because juice and soda is just expensive and water is always a healthier option. Another tip that helps me save money is using our Cashback credit card. Now, I use my American Express Blue Cash Preferred card, and there is a fee with that one. But the amount of money that we're able to save with it makes sense for us to have this particular card. But you can get a free cashback credit card to help you earn even more money when you have to spend. So before my son was born, I didn't realize how expensive being a parent could be, but diapers and wipes cost me around $150 a month with coupons. But I have taken every single piece of clothing that my sister has given me as a hand-me-down from my nephews. The hand-me-downs that we have generously accepted from my sister has helped us save well over $1,000 over the last year. So if you have kids, check with your friends, family, and even your colleagues if they have children around the same age and they're willing to pass something down. Whatever it is can, and I'm sure it will be, a blessing, and not just for your bank account. My next tip to save money on a low income is to shop around. There's a time for everything, and sometimes we can't help but buy something. Maybe you need a new coat. So there's this app called Honey that compares prices at stores to make sure that you're getting the best price. You can also go to YouTube if you need something fixed. There are some great YouTube tutorials to help you do, fix, or even create some things to help you save money. My next tip to save money on a low income is by getting more income. I have a video here that can help you do just that. I ended up earning over $40,000 in a year with my Amazon reselling side hustle. Another reason why I'm adding side hustle to this list is because when you're trying to save money on a low income, it can seem boring, empty, or even depressing. But let's be clear, saving money is a good thing, so it should feel like it's a good thing. That's why I think adding a side hustle can help you do things that you may not have been able to do if a side hustle wasn't on this list. The whole point of saving money is to make your life better and less stressful. Saving money is a talent. You can sign up for programs to help with your expenses. So if you really need help, you can use some of these programs to help you save even more money. You can get help with things like food, housing, utility bills, and so much more that I didn't even know before doing research on how to save money on a low income. While I don't even qualify for these programs, I highly recommend checking it out to see if you could. My next tip is to do something different. You could apply for higher paying jobs, you could ask for promotions, ask for a raise. The worst they can say is no. I've been in the corporate world for over 10 years, and you have to ask for money. They will never give it to you. HR is going to be HR, and they won't just give it to you. You have to ask. One of the most frustrating things to me is when I hear people complain, yet they do nothing to change their situation, doing the same things they've always done, expecting a different result. My next tip to save money is to use public transportation if it's available and if it's convenient. If it's not, then you can try to carpool. If you have debts, prioritize paying them off to avoid paying interest charges. What helped me to get rid of my debt so quickly was consolidating it with Best Egg. And this way I was able to get a low interest rate that helped me save thousands of dollars that I would have been paying had I kept it with my creditors. Now, depending on the bill, you might be able to actually call your creditor to see if you can work out a payment plan or try to renegotiate your interest rate. My next tip to save money is to use a high yield savings account. Rates are still really high right now, so you can earn a pretty decent return. In some cases, you can earn money better and faster than stocks. Now, I'm going to give you guys a few extra tips too. If you're trying to stay entertained or have something to do, your local library has books that you can rent out for free. But libraries don't just have books anymore. You should be able to rent out movies, music, audiobooks. There are so many things that you can take advantage of from your local library. I even started to take my son there because they have weekly story time, and it gives us something to do. It gives him more of an opportunity to be social and just have some type of experience outside of the home. Some people were recommending getting a roommate to save money on housing costs. And although I am all for saving, I think I watch a little too much Dateline to ever have a roommate that I don't know to save money on rent or a mortgage. That just does not make sense to me. But if you feel comfortable, get a roommate or a housemate to save money on your housing costs. Another tip that you could use to save money is planting a garden if you have the time and space. And although we had a garden this year, the moths tore up my kale and ruined months and months of work. My advice is if you have the time to maintain a garden, it can be really helpful to run out and cut a vegetable. Otherwise, it might be worth running out to the grocery store. So the last thing that I'll share with you has little to do with finance and more about a mentality. But try not to live in comparison. I know that might seem like a daunting task with social media because everyone seems like they're living such a lavish lifestyle, but in reality, we don't even know what half of these people are going through if we pull back the curtain. Here's the thing, if you're in good health and you have a relationship with God, then you already won. Take a look around you and focus on the things that you have as opposed to the things that you don't. It's important to really have a glass half full mentality and you're on the right path. But hopefully these tips will help you arrive at that destination a little sooner. And my last tip that I told you was the best tip: ask God what you want and be really specific. I find that the more specific I am with God, the easier you make His job. I know this because I am blessed beyond measure and I am so grateful. I hope you like these tips to save money. And if you did, make sure to check out this video of side hustles that anybody can do. And if you watched this video until the end, please do me a favor and in the comment section below, type in "I made it." That way, I know people are actually watching until the end. Thank you for watching and have a great day.